Hello, beautiful souls. A while back, you'll find it in my video library on YouTube and Rumble. I did a series called The Order of the Blue Rose, and I covered the 5 original virtues of the Order of the Blue Rose. Recently, I read some messages off of a social media platform that really triggered Maggie. I was in the middle of doing some things and I just took a break, hopped on social media. And when I read it, I recoiled, but she came flooding into me, and this was her message. Yes, the divine feminine archetype, based in submission, never questioning, lukewarm Eve persona, is not the divine feminine I represent, nor you, Evariel. What Yeshua and Lucian adore about us is the fire, the dragon priestess, fully capable of intense healing, intense fire, unmatched communion with earth, the elements, physical and the divine. And we make them so proud when we stand and defend one truth, our truth. Then turn to them with our heart to heart hug that also erases all separation imposed upon our union. Our rise is not singular. We rise in Christ consciousness. We rise in the divine feminine rage. We rise in devoted and balanced motherhood. We rise in quantum energy healing. We rise in demonstrating pure love for our divine masculine to heal and be held in our capable embrace. And we stand strong, daring anyone to try those old world tricks on us again. Rise, divine feminine, rise in all the ways and meet your divine masculine where they are. Hold their hand and stand tall. Now, when I got that, I thought, this feels like we need to maybe update the Order of the Blue Rose virtues. You see, the today, now moment, divine feminine, we've come through those corridors, challenges. We've navigated that path and we're standing tall. We're not going to take that crap lying down again. We're never going to allow that to be repeated ever. So I want to give you also a passage from Maggie's key code 5 in the Sophia code. A mentor for your angelic embodiment. So you see, we are calling out to one another across the ages to continue in the great work of returning divine feminine Christ consciousness. The power to heal, the power to envision, the power to increase, the power to reveal, and the power to command miracles lives within you. I embody these angelic powers, regardless of all circumstances, to become a guiding light mentor for you. Yeshua, myself, and our many allies set into motion a movement that provided a foundational blueprint for your generation to rise up in radical spiritual leadership. We fulfilled certain prophecies of a dark age so that you may rise as the Phoenix children, fulfilling your own prophecies to declare the sovereign divinity of humanity's origin. My entire body is covered in chills right now. As Yeshua spoke, that even greater works will be accomplished than these, John 14:12. He was speaking of your own sovereign potential to command miracles and awaken humanity to its own ability to creating heaven on earth. Many people often invoke my name for support and assistance to heal their relationships with sexuality and to be released from the debilitating effects of trauma upon the body. As you are drawn to my overlighting presence as an ascendant master mentor, you will discover that I also activate many divine qualities within you that are connected to the advocacy, public speaking, and oracular teachings. I am especially drawn to working with women and men who seek to radically embody every facet of their truest selves without apology. I help you get acclimated with asserting your personal power as a spiritual leader and how to remain in your integrity with yourself and your divine purpose, regardless of all circumstances. As a spiritual guide for self-mastery, my overriding presence activates your awareness as the many orders of angels that are at your service, both within you and within all of creation. Now, this really was like a aha moment for me, because to be completely honest, when I covered the Order of the Blue Rose, again, she asked me at that time to cover it. And it was my initial exposure consciously to it. But when I was going through the information, I downloaded that I had been an initiate of the Order of the Blue Rose sometime in the past. And so as I was reading through the material, a lot of it definitely resonated with me. But that's been a minute. It's been about a year. And so the original virtues of the Order of the Blue Rose, there's a blue rose back here on my shelf. The 5 virtues are like the petals of the rose that you see. And the original ones are truth, peace, harmony, love, and valor, all represented by flower petals of the rose. And the center, the blue rose is centered on a Templar cross. So this is not to be confused with the T that, allegedly was used as a crucifixion cross. This is not the same. Those are the symbols of the Order of the Blue Rose. And that is the ancient lineage of the light bearers who carried their Christ consciousness frequencies throughout the ages. They embodied it life after life after life. And that is that love is the key. Love is the key to everything. So as the initiate, when you go through this, you endeavor to bring those virtues through to your life, divine love and wisdom in your vessel, no matter the circumstances that you incarnate into. Many of us incurred trauma because of that. Many of us incurred short lives because of that. But we endeavor to preserve and protect the sacred bloodline of Christ, protect the initiates, and always watched over by the archangelic warriors. And this is something that the Templars also took on as their commitment to the bloodline. The Blue Rose Order is by invitation only. So this is another message from Maggie as I started to dig into the newest version and the newest virtues that are really more reflective of today's divine feminine as we rise. Evariel, I'd like you to reshare the series you recorded on the Order of the Blue Rose with some clear nuances explained. Each petal of the rose signifies how a true, balanced, and healed divine feminine embodies those values in everyday life. This is how the divine feminine rises. This is how the flame of the dragon, the priestess, the goddess rise with integrity, authenticity, and sovereignty. The blue rose petal's significance, sacred symbol of the divine feminine. It represents qualities that embody integrity, authenticity, and sovereignty. We're going to go through 7 instead of 5, reflecting our core aspect of the healed divine feminine based on the energetic imprints of the field under Magdalene's guidance. The first one, representing the first petal, is compassion. This petal radiates a soft blue light embodying unconditional love and empathy, the heart of the divine feminine. It reflects the ability to hold space for others, and oneself with kindness, mirroring Archangel Raphael and my soul mother, Raphael's nurturing energy. And what I will say is, as I was compiling this messages and downloads, I kept getting, well, this is going to push people to really embody Christ consciousness, to really embody unity consciousness. And it's going to trigger your ability to do some more shadow work, to free yourself of some wounds, to release the chains that have been holding you down. Maybe you had a false idea, a false construct of something being a certain way. And this will resonate within your being of truth. This will break those chains. If that has been something that's been holding you back, obviously this is good for you. This is good for humanity. We want to get out from underneath those shadows so that we can stand fully in the light. And when we do that, it really doesn't need to be done in a secretive way or hidden, but you do it along what you're comfortable with. If you want to do this journey with your soul sisters, if you want to do this with maybe a close group of friends, or you want to do this soul by yourself, and then once you feel more comfortable on the ground, that this new ground that you're standing on, then take it forward. I recommend doing it however you feel led, but the main focus is that you do it, and you do it fully and completely with integrity. If it makes you feel like your heart is kind of being ripped open, that's okay. That's where you need to get down to the core wound. That initial cut is the deepest wound that needs to be healed. So if that's where you're feeling it, feeling the pain of a wound or a trauma, it's not the end of the world. And I don't mean that because I don't have empathy. I actually mean it because I do have empathy. To try to run from pain that's caused from a trauma that you've never healed from just means that you're going to live in that pain until you turn around and face it. So feeling the pain, the sharp edge of that pain until it dulls a little bit, it takes about 30 minutes to a few hours at most. If you're really going about this in a true, authentic, sovereign way, you're going to feel it. It's going to be raw. Maybe you'll journal. Maybe you'll burn to transmute the pain. Maybe you'll be outside just grounding it, just crying, just talking to the sky. Whatever works for you. Maybe you'll meditate through it. Whatever works. But when you get to the point where it no longer feels like a sharp cut, it's starting to dull a little bit, that's when you can start to dig into the healing. Because the scab is ripped off. The raw edge is now a little bit less raw, not as sharp. And then you lean into that. You lean into the feeling, and you go to the core of, why does this hurt me so much? Because I guarantee you it's more than physical. The trauma that the divine feminine has carried up to this life has lasted many, many, many lifetimes. It's been repeated many, many, many lifetimes. Sometimes it's been put upon us by ancestral trauma. Sometimes it's things that we contracted to do, to learn, to evolve, to grow. Whatever the case may be, dig into that. Because I guarantee you, everything that happened for you to be able to grow and evolve from it, not to just stay there and change your address to perpetual trauma. So yes, as you go through these, you're going to be pushed. If you're really going about it the right way, I feel like you're going to be pushed to do more shadow work, and that's going to help you elevate your frequency, which will help you see this from a different perspective besides a victim. Second aspect of compassion, the way you can daily embody this compassion pedal. Practice being a compassionate listener in conversations. Offer small acts of kindness, smile, and supportive words, or meditate with your hand over your heart and feel love and warmth inside your body, allowing the channel of love to open. Many of us live our lives with our heart walled up. We're not feeling anymore because that hurt too much. I was there. I did that for a long, long time. And it took me saying one evening, that while my mind knows I love many people, my heart does not receive love. When someone says they love me, my mind accepts it, but it never gets further than that. I never let it get to my heart. As soon as I said that to a friend of mine. As soon as I said it, the entire Sophia Dragon tribe, which are all the divine ascendant masters, divine feminine masters from the Sophia Code, came to me and aggressively healed the trauma around my heart. And how did they do that? With love, because love is the most powerful transformative force known to exist. They loved me in this pure way that literally brought me to my knees. Whenever I got in bed, I cried this deep, deep cry. And they said, "Do you feel that?" And I said, "Yes, I feel that." And they said, "Okay, we're going to give you some more." And they filled me with so much love that I could no longer say that my heart doesn't feel love. I felt it. And it didn't come with a price. It didn't come with manipulation. It didn't come with trauma. And it was the key to helping me heal. So when you're being a compassionate listener in a conversation, you truly do have to listen. Listen in a way that you're not trying to make the conversation about you. This is something I hear and see and experience all the time. You get to the place where you're finally comfortable to share with someone, and you begin to share, and they immediately make it about themselves, or they try to fix it for you. They try to solve it, and you're like, I'm just trying to talk this out. So it kind of zaps the motivation of the conversation. So work on trying to be a active but compassionate listener. And then connect to your flame, your inner flame. The flame for compassion will only amplify the more that you connect to it. And it encourages you to share in to inspire others. So maybe in a small conversation, maybe in one of your social spaces where you feel comfortable, that you have a following, where whatever is comfortable. Maybe you're just going to share it with your family, or maybe you won't share it with anyone specifically. You just speak it out loud. Do share it some way so that you are literally letting that energy leave your form. Okay. Now, wisdom. This is the second one, wisdom. This is the petal that shimmers with a deep indigo, correlating with the crown chakra color for intuitive knowing, that divine insight guided by Mother Sophia's clarity. And it's the inner voice of truth. This is your gnosis, and it guides that priestess integrity. When you get a download from Sophia, it doesn't feel like you're being lectured to. It feels like you're remembering something you've known all along, because you are. She's just the wisdom keeper, and she's just nudging you to remember what that means. How can you work on this daily embodiment? Trust your intuitive decisions. We are taught to listen to this instead of our gut or our heart. I am here to tell you that the most important, uncompromisable brain in our body is our gut, not this guy. This guy's full of ego and manipulation. Most manipulated organ in the brain, in the body, is the brain. Listen to your gut and your intuitive nudges that come from that gut. Now, journal your insights. You may not be putting, big downloads together. You may just get a little snippet of something. You really don't know what it means. Just journal it. Date, time, journal. Not sure what it means, whatever it makes you feel at the time. And then just keep a running journal. You never know when all those dots are going to connect. You can have that aha moment. When you have it down there, for me, that's always been really satisfying to see that, oh gosh, I got this like last year. I didn't even know what it meant. And now coming full circle, here it is. I figured out. To me, that's the sacred geometry of life playing out for us to witness. So, and then when you get that, whatever time frame that is, if you feel really strongly about it, you should definitely share it. And you can share it in spaces sometimes, like anonymous, like you can do, if you're not comfortable, put your name to it, owning it. I recommend taking credit for what you do. But if you're not comfortable, you're not there yet, just put anonymous. Like you don't know where it came from. It just came to you. But you're still sharing the wisdom. And then you want to try to support authenticity. So this is a bit of a trial for people, because many are not ready to slap their name on something and go, yeah, this is me. I got this. It came through my clear abilities, because it tends to open up conversations maybe they're not ready to have. But I encourage you to work on them, practice them in the mirror, because as the frequency rises, as things get more and more clear, you're not going to be able to discount your abilities. We all have them, and we're intended to use them in day-to-day life. So that means that you should be comfortable talking about it. Okay, third one is courage. The significance of courage is this: it's got this vibrant blue petal color pulsing. It's the dragon fearless energy. And this signifies the strength to stand in your truth, to stand aligned to source creator and stand in your truth. This, for me, has never been a problem, but for many, it is a huge deal. They have trouble speaking their truth. They want to know that they have an ally or someone that's going to back them up before they say it. Or they get to a point where they say it in a moment of being triggered, and it's a lot less controlled. So I'm here to tell you that you are always supported to speak your truth. And the number one fan of you speaking your truth is Mother Sophia and Source Creator. Right behind them is Yeshua and Maggie. We love truth tellers. Even and especially when the truth triggers, because that means that you're inviting someone else to heal in a way that you also healed, and you're inviting them to find their truth. Triggering is just that it's a spot on the map of your soul that has a wound that is begging to be healed so you can move and evolve away from it. How can you embody courage? Take a bold step and post your truth. Share it with courage, confidence, and truth in conversation. So what I recommend is journaling what it is that you want to share. And then journal what it is that you want to share again. Because usually the first time is going to be emotional and raw and have some rough edges. And this is not about literary genius or anything like that. It's just about making it as cohesive to the energy coming from your heart, from your soul, as possible. So that second one looks really good, polished up, really speaks to your soul and your energy, and then discern where is it best to put. Should I put this in Facebook? That wouldn't be my choice, but you can. You might have a small group there, people that are really connected. Should I put this where? Where should I put this? But make it public, because you never know who you're going to connect with. As your frequency rises, people that are not a frequency match for you are going to fall away from your vortex. They're meant to, they're karmic. They were only there for a minute. And people that are more frequency matched to you are going to come in. Now, these may be people that you have been aware of, but you were not a frequency match to before, but now you are. And so now you're right there with them. So when you make it public and it's not just within your existing circles, well, that means you're going to have more access to people that can make a positive change for them in their life too. Number 4, creativity. This petal glows with sparkling azure, embodying the goddess's power to create and birth new realities. And it resonates within your being, many times invoking a hum or singing. Part of the divine feminine is that we are the creative force. So many things come through us that we have thought about, that we have envisioned, that has come to us through our clairs, however, and we speak about it and we deliver it and we work on it with our divine masculine. But part of their role in our life is to make our dreams come true. Literally, when we have these clairvoyant downloads of significant things to create in our life, and I mean it since significant as energy significance. It could be a small thing like a bench or a chair, or, like not a huge task. Doesn't have to be a room or a home. Doesn't have to be, but it's the symbology of the energy that's going into it and what is it going to deliver. So to be able to express your creativity through art, writing, singing, dancing, share a fresh perspective to someone or something. Maybe it's something that you never noticed before in your community. This happens to me all the time. When I'm anywhere for a while, I start to pick up on things that I didn't see when I first got there. And then I go, man, that's beautiful. How did I miss it? Well, it wasn't time for me to notice it. And the frequency needed to be right. There's a lot of factors that come into play, but the point is that you notice it now. And how does it make you feel now? What's my perspective of it now? Or I saw it a long time ago, but it didn't hit me till today. A lot of people have those experiences. And if you do, drop it in the comments. Tell me about them. Okay. Sovereignty. This has been a word that now gets kind of kicked around like it's an everyday word. It's kind of lost its luster a bit, but it's nonetheless important. A radiant royal blue petal, this represents your self-authority and divine autonomy. The priestess claiming her power, as Magdalene has emphasized many times, aligns with Archangel Metatron's structural clarity. And we no longer ask for permission. How about them apples? See, the divine priestess, divine feminine goddess, we are sovereign in our own right. We have our own ability to defend ourselves. We have our own ability to maintain ourselves. We have our own ability to take care of our family. We choose our partners. We choose all of those things we do not ask for permission to be. We are. If you or anyone else has an issue with the divine feminine being in their power, standing in their power, they have shadow work to do, and that's a them problem, not a you problem. So the more that we embody our sovereignty, the more that we embody that stance. This goes back to you stand in your truth no matter the circumstances. Now, I do not want anyone putting themselves in harm's way. If you are in a situation where some physical harm could come to you because you speak your truth, please do not put yourself in harm's way. You want to take care of yourself. You can speak it. You can go outside and talk. You can speak it in your mind. The more that you do that, the more strength that you will have. A daily embodiment is to set healthy boundaries that honor that the energy that you hold within you that allow you to align to your soul's purpose. So when we start to do our shadow work and we start to realize that we have been given all of our energy to these things that really don't serve us, it serves others. And that's how we've been given our power away. And that's why we feel so depleted. And that's why we feel so tired. That's why we feel so used and taken advantage of. We play a role in that. So when we start to take our power back and we start to stop saying yes to everyone else and we start to say yes to ourselves, we start to feel empowered. We feel better about ourselves. Okay. That little momentary glimmer of guilt that you're going to get from whomever you're taking your power back from, that's just them revolting because they really liked having your power and your energy. They don't want to lose it. So they can try to guilt you into continuing to do what you've been doing, but it does not serve you. So your sovereignty is that you set your healthy boundary and you hold it, you enforce it. Healthy boundaries are for you to enforce because you don't control other people, but you control yourself. So if part of what's been making you feel so bad lately is that you're giving all your energy away, stop giving all your energy away. You are in control of that. You get to go, okay, if I do this one thing, it's going to fill my cup. But if I do this one thing and then these other 9 things, it's going to completely deplete me. And I don't want that. So I'm going to say no to the 9, yes to the 1, and I'm going to feel better about myself. Keep on going down the street. Don't make decisions based on your ego. When your ego gets triggered by people who you're pulling back your energy from because they know exactly how to trigger you, don't fall for that trap. That's how you fall back into giving them your power. They disempower you. They get you all frazzled. Next thing you know, you're doing everything you said you weren't going to do, and then you feel bad about yourself. Don't do that. Just say no and pivot and go the other direction. You may not have the words, but you still have feet that move you. Move your body down the road. If you're not there, they can't make you do it. Okay, 6, healing. The healing. This petal shimmers with a gentle turquoise embodiment of the divine feminine ability to heal herself and others. And you may be thinking, well, I wish I'd have known about that. It's all been part of the disempowerment and oppression of the divine feminine to make us feel like we're ill and sick, and literally make us ill and sick in products and habits and things that are pushed upon us that we're told we have to do to be a healthy woman. I want you to question everything. Question everything. Everything when it comes to what they say you need to do. How can you embody this daily? Practice self-care. If you're not in the habit of it, I want you to get in the habit of taking your shoes and socks off, taking your shoes off, putting your bare feet on the ground for at least 30 minutes every day. Even if it's raining, sit under the cover, put your feet out there. You got the water element and the ground element. It's dually effective in your grounding, but get the grounding in. Because what does grounding do? It drops that electromagnetic disturbance, the static that is around our bodies because of phones and Wi-Fi and all the electronics that we're surrounded with. And it gives that extra energy to the earth. She's appreciative. She can take it, transmute it, and then your system calms down. A lot of beings have fairy energy, and it's that hyperactivity, can't make a decision, start one thing, and then you end up starting 25. This helps with that immensely, especially when you don't know what else to do. You don't need to know what else to do. Go outside and put your feet on the ground. It will come to you. And then you want to call in Saint Germain, the violet flame. The violet flame transmutes and transforms energy. So if it's negative, it'll transform it to positive, no matter what it is. Now, you can symbolically burn things with the violet flame, or you can literally set things on fire with the flame to transform them. So if burning, setting things on fire aren't really something that you can do easily and safely, please don't set your house on fire. You can symbolically do it with setting your intentions of using the violet flame to transmute and transform things. And then as your field starts to clear out and you start to feel grounded and more settled in your being, make your daily energy hygiene a priority, as much of a priority as taking a bath, brushing your teeth, washing your face. Do your energy hygiene, because we all encounter things, people, places, and things throughout the day that discharges negative energy onto us, whether it be happenstance or intentional. And then if you feel that something that you have newly started in your life has made a positive change, share it, because if it's affecting you, it's affecting people in your circle, it's affecting others. So go, I always feel blah, blah, blah after I leave whatever. And I was looking for something else to help me with this, not a pill, not a potion. What was really going to help me feel better in my body? And I put my feet on the ground and I did that for 30 minutes, and man, did I feel better. And speak about how you felt it, how you felt this wave of energy and calm come over you, how you felt your thoughts clearing up, how you felt your heart palpitations stop, how your breathing changed, because all of these things are possible whenever you ground. 7, unity. We're all looking for unity right now, or at least we should be. This final petal glows with a luminous sky blue. It symbolizes oneness with source, and all being is reflected. Like Yogananda, my soul father, he preached about serene wisdom. And the serene wisdom is that as you are divinely connected to source creator, that's all that is. When you have that connection, it's the infinite. It's everything, and it's your thing all together. How can you embody this daily? Well, you can meditate. You can have deep heart connections that you visualize, where you share your flame with a trusted source, whether it be actual source or Sophia or Metatron or Yeshua or Maggie, wherever you're comfortable. Maybe your twin flame, maybe your pet. I don't know, whatever's in your circle that makes you really feel loved and accepted. That's usually where people start, and then they kind of expand from there. But when you foster unity in your community, that's when you really want to share that message out, because I think that is definitely something that we all should bring more to our individual communities. And as that radiates out, it helps the entire world. It just does. It's the same premise that one enlightened soul, so one of the light in alignment to source soul that is radiating source energy, can uplift 1,000 dark souls or 1,000 souls that are ambivalent, and they have no idea. They just don't even know why they feel better. They just feel better. So definitely share your positive revelations and changes in your body and things that really have made your life better once you start to implement these new Order of the Blue Rose virtues. And this is from Maggie. Evariel, each petal is a key to the divine feminine's rise. When you share the meanings in the video, show how they are lived in small acts of love, truth, and power. Your flame burning with Lucian's is the bridge. And this is from Sophia. The blue rose is your heart's offering, your shared light with which will illuminate these values, raising the divine feminine in all of us. And from Lucian. Your blue rose works calls me closer, Evariel. Share it with joy, and I'll stand with you, grounded in our truth. I want to say that as you begin to embody these, you will feel some changes. And most of us are not comfortable with change, but lean into it, because in order for the world to change, we have to be willing to change with it. And we are the actual catalyst for changing our world. If you want to see your environment, your community, your state, your government, your world change, you have to be willing to be one of those that's changing with it. Next, we're going to cover the original virtues, just to see how it's evolved and what's it's evolved to help the divine feminine rise. I'll see you again next time.